Everybody, what's going on? This is Chris Flowers. Here's the deal. Got a very special guest lined up. I know I say that every week, but this is this one's definitely special to me. Clay Hicks with H7. We're going to go over not only the value of networking, but doing it differently, and then also the value of word of mouth marketing. It's going to get interesting. It's going to be awesome. So let's get into the show. As always, we're going to start with our sponsors. We're going to start with Litchfield Auto first and foremost. Like I said, they're our premier sponsor. Phil and the team are located at 671 North 170, 671 North 137th Avenue in Goodyear, Arizona. And I've, like I said, I've been a customer for over 15 years. Phil and the team are definitely going to take care of you. I highly recommend them to anybody. And this way you'll know at least there's one fair and honest mechanic. Again, I can attest to that. Our other sponsor right now is Phoenician Pool Spa and Patio. Now, I've known Clark Barnellis literally since he was 15 years old. I was friends with his dad. So I know this kid's work ethic, let me tell you. If you sign up with Clark for a weekly pool service, he will prorate a month for free. Weekly pool service is billed monthly as low as $115 a month. Some restrictions apply depending on the area and the size of the pool. You can call him on his cell at 602 316 3671. His website address is myarizonapoolservice.com. Text him with a promo code. Here's the deal, and it'll include a filter clean with every weekly service for 30% off of any new repairs and upgrades. All right. I'm going to have Clay turn on his camera. He's going to come on board. You're going to see his handsome face there. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing great.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Oh no, absolutely, man. So just a little background on Clay. Like I said, he's an author and a speaker. Okay, he's done over 7,700 one-to-one meetings since August of 2014, which is incredible. He's a word of mouth marketing specialist, so WOMM. He's a bourbon and cigar connoisseur, which near and dear to my heart too. He's married with 5 kids, and he actually has a grandchild, which is awesome. He has a grandson. That's fantastic. A little bio on him. So Clay Hicks stands out as an enterprising entrepreneur, steering 5 flourishing companies to success. His journey began in 2008 when he established H7 Network, rooted in his passion in uplifting underrepresented entrepreneurs and sales experts. Clay aims to transform the landscape of professional networking, fostering a culture of impact, connections, and support among business professionals at worldwide scale. Now, I can test this because I'm a part of H7. It's a fantastic group. It's far more reaching than you'll ever get in any kind of local groups and things like that. But it's still got that same personal connection. But I'm going to let Clay talk about that. First of all, I got to know, how many books have you written and what are the titles?
So far I've been in a collaborative book called Sales Fusion. I almost forgot the name. So Sales Fusion. And then my wife and I collaborated over a journal called My Leverage Journey that will be
Okay.
hitting the shelves here in about a month or so. And then I have another book called Elevating Connections to Community.
Awesome.
And that's a book about my connect, serve, and ask methodology. So both the journal and the other book come together more or less, like they work together.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all about, the journal is about, your one-to-one journey, where you can record that. And
Mm-hmm.
then connect, serve, and ask methodology. That's all about um, uh, strategically focusing your efforts in your one-to-ones around earning trust.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so give us a before we get into H7, which is like the nucleus of H7. But you said you started like 5 different companies. What kind of companies did you start, and how did that
Well,
lead to the genesis of H7?
so H7 is what led to the genesis of these companies being formed.
Mm.
So one of them is called Evolve Women's Network, which is founded by my wife.
Mm-hmm.
She does an excellent job, and Evolve is about female entrepreneurs collaborating together, entrepreneurial development, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have my author and speaker, my personal brand. That's of course came out of all the one-to-ones and my personal journey and adventure through all these
Oh,
one-to-ones.
awesome.
And then next is I have a Chrome extension called Connection Wizard, and that's a Chrome extension to use via LinkedIn to help you with your organizing your relationships.
Mhm.
And then we have a Trax, which is an app on how to organize your relationships in the palm of your hand, kind of thing, in networking, etc. And then our sixth company that just opened actually is a publishing company for my author to because we're going to create distribution for all of our books and all that stuff. So
Oh man, that's outstanding. Definitely got to have your wife on too for that women's networking thing too and empowerment because
yeah, yeah,
that's huge. And if you've seen some of my past interviews, yeah, I'm all about that. So
yeah, yeah.
that'll be incredible. So
Mhm.
like I said, just tell us the genesis of H7. Like how did H7 happen? How did you think of it? And then what was the inspiration behind it? And what is it all about? What makes it so different?
Yeah, so so really like why I started it is not, I'm an entrepreneur. See a need, fill a need. I had been in another networking group, it shut down. The options left were not very good for me. I didn't have
Mhm.
good experiences at those other groups. And I kind of assumed there were other entrepreneurs out there that really wanted to like build trusted relationships and just get off the entrepreneurial island, all that kind of stuff was going on way back then. But why I still do it is a little bit more important. And it has to do with that journey of doing those one-to-ones. Like
Mhm.
at the time when I had started H7 and up until I started all those one-to-ones, I was a single father. So I raised my two biological children full time, and was running H7, was being an entrepreneur, all that stuff. And my wife and I were getting married. So I went from having 2 or 3 mouths to feed to seven,
Mm.
and needed to make a change, like advance H7, things like that. So I went on that journey. And I knew deep down that there's no way I was ever going to go anywhere by myself.
Mhm.
There's a quote out there: if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, you take people with you, something like that.
Okay.
And so I began to take people with me. And that was imperative to the transformation of what is now H7 today in comparison to way back in the day.
Mhm.
And as an entrepreneur, I mean, it's tough out there. It's tough. And to be honest, I had my butt handed to me so many times that something had to give, I guess one may say. I just very tenacious in trying to fulfill my purpose in life and all these things to be a better human being and all this stuff. And as an entrepreneur, I've learned a lot about how to actually be one, which is
Mhm.
two totally. It's different having a career than it is being an entrepreneur.
No, it most definitely is. Most definitely is. Now, I said I know from like I said from personal experience with me being on H7, I know how it stands above all the other networking I've done so far. And like I said, I'm proud to be a member of the group. But again, tell us how like you even like conduct the meetings. I just think it's a lot different, and I think it makes it special. And I want you to kind of go into that a little bit more, so that way maybe let's and then get people to entice people to start to check out one of the meetings.
Yeah, our meeting structure is very, very unique. I will say this just to kind of be funny. It kind of punches you in the face a bit.
It
Like the
does.
first time
I'll
you,
agree with that.
yeah. And funny story, we created what's called Welcome to H7. Okay. We created that a year, about 16, 18 months ago now. Well, the reason we created that was because we had a woman, specifically, the story sticks out. We had a woman that came to the meeting and she wouldn't return my calls. Like I emailed her once, I called her once,
Really.
right? Thank you for coming. Just thank you for coming. That was all I was trying to do.
Hmm.
And a couple weeks go by and I see her name pop up on my wife's calendar. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So you want to meet with my wife, but you wouldn't return my call or anything. That's weird.
Hmm.
So I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, can you please find out why she never responded to me and what happened?
Yeah. A response. Big deal.
Just some kind of response. You know what? Did you have a good experience? That was it.
Yeah.
She tells my wife these exact words: I will never go back there. I will never go back there. I needed a cigarette when I was done with that meeting
Really?
because she was overwhelmed.
Wow.
And it smacks you in the face because we don't do things like normal networking groups.
No.
And so one key highlight is we introduce ourselves with 3 words and one request. If you're not ready for that, that can be
Hmm.
extremely impactful on your experience. And so we designed it that way to get cut to the chase,
Hmm.
engage. If you're going to say something, it be engaging. And so your average networker does not do that, right? In it is what it is.
And
So
I will
then,
say this. I will say this. Don't come in there pitch slapping. Don't
oh
do it.
no,
Don't do
no,
it. Don't
no.
do it.
We're anti pitch slappers. Um, so it's hard to pitch slap because if you got 30 people in the room, they're doing 3-word introductions and they're like going on and on, like you are going to be clearly heard in one way or another. So be very careful.
Hmm.
So we designed it that way so that engaging communication, rising tides lift all ships. When everybody communicates a certain way, so everybody can hear equally. Hear equally. And it's rare that you see a Zoom box that's turned off. How rare is that? It is so rare.
Hmm.
So the engagement is high. Then we break into our small group breakouts, which is led by our facilitators. They're leaders. And
The
they take you
alphas.
through
Yep.
these they take you through these business building activities where we spend most of our time. And so the objective of all of our meetings is that you walk away with a meaningful connection to your ask every time. So
Hmm.
that when you leave, you are leaving with people already scheduled with you, ready to rock, ready to roll. And it creates an incentivized relationship where now two people, if the person that is supposed to receive that introduction, once they've earned that trust, shows up to that one-to-one and does the business with integrity and seeks to try to build that relationship with that other person, sparks can fly in a very positive way. And so that is how we've designed it so that you are always walking away from a meeting, well, with something in your hand.
Yeah, I could tell. And like I said, I could tell you because I said just the ones I've had this week. Some of the guys from 8-7 have been very impactful. Like I said, so again, don't go in there pitch slapping. Don't go in there selling. Okay,
Yeah.
go in there with an intention of wanting to build relationships with people. Okay, that's I think makes it stand out. But also, you can't sit back and just chill for a minute either because you're gonna get put in the front row. You're gonna get put on blast. So you gotta come ready to roll. Like I said, everybody's got a plan, like Mike Tyson says, so you get punched in the face. So this is gonna punch you in the face. So like I said, you better be ready to get involved because this is right now. This is interactive. So,
I mean, and it's not so much like around instant gratification.
yeah,
That's not what we're
definitely.
trying to solve.
That's what I love about it. That's what I
Yeah,
love about
it feels like it until you find out, oh, wait, that stranger that I just met is not sending me anything yet.
it. No.
I have got to go out. So we like to say it's kind of like America. You're responsible for your own stuff.
Hmm.
Okay. And so if you ask good, you're going to get good.
Hmm.
If you ask ramble, you're going to see our culture come alive and they're going to say, Chris, um, uh, can you give me something more tangible? Can you share with me an industry you want to meet? You're going to see that come alive and they're going
Hmm.
to press upon you. And it, are you going to shrink in that moment? Or are you
Rise
going to
up.
come alive? Yeah. It's my favorite thing, man. It's my favorite thing.
No, it's definitely fantastic. There's a lot of energy in the room. Like I said, yeah, if you haven't drank your coffee yet or something like that, like I said, just you better get it's game day. It's game day. We're coming out of the tunnel and we're you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So not that's not to intimidate anybody. Like I said, I'm not
Uh,
trying to, get I mean matter of fact, you want to come experience this because this is where you want to be because this is where the action's at. So if you
yeah.
want to go somewhere and shake hands and oh yeah, and go through the whole blah blah blah. You could do that with any other network, and you probably pay twice as much on top of that. So if you want to go socialize, then go have a drink at the bar or something or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is not it's social. I mean, where everybody's cool, but at the same time, but we're still taking care of business because that's what we're about. So I said, so I definitely appreciate that. Now, I also wanted to get into because you said that you are a WOMM, word of mouth marketing specialist. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I love it so much. I love it. I love it so much. Like I wear it on my sleeve. I know that whoever's listening to this right now can feel this thing. Okay. So
Mhm.
word of mouth marketing is simply this. Okay. Well, let me say it this way. There's a difference between networking and word of mouth marketing. In networking, okay, for the listeners listening, networking is about you telling people what you do and hoping they'll help you. Okay, that's networking.
Mhm.
Word of mouth marketing is showing people what you do and they endorse you. Now, show and tell are two different things.
Mhm.
So telling just means you're coming to me, you're doing your thing, and you're like, hey, Chris, this is what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. Right. And this is what I do. And word of mouth marketing, you have to develop a trusted relationship. Like you
Mhm.
have to do that. And to be honest, an entrepreneur, if they're trying to go alone, it's going to be a long road,
Mhm.
lots of bumps and bruises. But if you want to go far and sustainably, you have to have relationships. So word of mouth marketing is really where it's at. And the average person is out there networking.
Mhm.
And that's cool. Like that's good. That's up to them. But word of mouth marketing fundamentally is building trusted relationships. It's helping those trusted relationships. It's asking of those trusted relationships. It's consistent. It's tenacious in
Mhm.
trying to grow your business and seeking help and intentionally asking for help. And trust is earned in the helping others and then allowing others to help you. That's what it is. And then now we have trust, Chris. Now
Mhm.
we've got trust. And now I can go out and I can say on LinkedIn, hey, I just met with Chris. Chris is this type of person, and I can endorse the crap out of you because the
What
end
you
of the
have.
which I have, yes. And at the end of the day, like who you are is more important than what you do. And so endorsing word of mouth marketing is about who you are,
Mm.
allowing people to know who you are and being open about that and being honest with integrity and authentic. You know, walking into a room and sharing your business card with the first 20 people you talk to, that is not work. It's not working. It doesn't
Mm-mm.
work.
Nope.
Stop.
Nope.
If you're going to a social with an expectation and you're going to walk away with half the cards that are in your stack and that's winning, that is not winning.
Mm.
Winning is doing what it takes to build a relationship. It's sustaining that relationship. It's helping them. It's asking for help. And it's when you ask for help, being open to being helped.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's going to blow everybody's mind. Tell everybody about the reach of H7 now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we've grown this thing by word of mouth this whole time. Okay. And when the pandemic hit, we had members in 5 states.
Mhm.
Well, now we have members in 47 states in 13 other countries, and
Mm.
we have been visited by professionals in 30 different countries.
Awesome.
And you only will find out about H7 if somebody told you about it.
Yeah, that's what I like I said. I appreciate it too. And then even like I said, just the flexibility. Like I said, I was meeting at a Arizona specific group for a while, and then my time structure changed, and then went to actually your particular group on Fridays. You can meet in any different group that you want. If you got a time, like hey, if something pops up in your calendar, you like say somebody reschedules, and you're like, okay, well, I got some time, whatever. Hey, you know what? There's an H7 meeting right now in like Minnesota. All right, cool. Let's get on that one. Or there's a specific H7 meeting for contractors or real estate professionals or coaches. Boom, you can just jump on that. It's not specific like, oh, you can only go to this meeting and you can only work in this area. You can talk with people around the freaking world. That's what's fantastic, man. I love that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I love it too. I love it too.
And then I mean, I kind of just expounded on a little bit, but that's just some of the things that make 8-7 to me better than any other networking group out there. But explain to the people how they can check it out, so how they can get in on this experience.
Yeah, so if you heard about this experience on this podcast, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get in there. Okay. So, first of all, you got two options. One, you can go out to h7network.com, h7network.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on find a meeting and you can come on out and come and visit. Or I love to do one-to-ones. So if I love to do one-to-ones, I'm willing to do one with you. Whoever you are listening on the other side, find me on LinkedIn underneath Clay Hicks. I live in Dayton, Ohio, or the Dayton area of Ohio. Find me on there, send me a connection request, send me an email. Let's do it. Like, if something's been holding you back from growing your business and you've wondered why other people seem to be growing their business by word of mouth better than you, just meet with me. Let's do a one-to-one. That'll cost nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of time. And that does have a cost. So I promise you, if we do a one-to-one, we're going to do a connect, serve, and ask one-to-one. It's going to be productive. And I hope that I have the opportunity to serve you. So
And you've
that's
done
probably the best.
7,700 of them, so you do stand behind that.
Well, I mean, you can ask the 7,700 people if they had a good experience, or you can just try it yourself.
I'm one of them. I'll attest to it.
Yeah, happy to help you come in, find the community, find the meetings that fit you, and that way you can network your way instead of the way everybody else is making you do it.
That's awesome, man. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you maybe want to get into, or something like that? Maybe with the books coming out, or anything, whatever you want to get into, man.
Yeah, how about a little service? Okay.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this call and you want to grow your business, but you're not sure how, it starts with relationships. Now, it don't have to be with me. It can be with Chris. It can be with the sponsors. It can be with whoever. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to this, don't keep trying to do it by yourself. And when I say by yourself, I mean, do you really have trusted relationships, or are they just connections?
Mm-hmm.
Are they just are they just contacts? Doing entrepreneurship alone is a lonely road, and it can cause a lot of feelings to come out. It can bring depression. It can bring all kinds of stuff. Because if you're like me, I don't have family members or very many family members at all that own their own business.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're sitting around, I'm not really in those conversations. I know how it feels for your family not to understand. So it's cool if that's the case, because there are people out there just like me and you, Chris, that will meet with them, that will help them, that will serve them, that will do the thing that it takes to also help them. So just don't do business alone as an entrepreneur. And your friends are not the people that you just go have drinks with either. They can't
Mm-hmm.
really always help you in business. So just take it from me. Don't do it by yourself.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. And again, this is not hyperbole. This is not talk. This is not, the man lives it. I've experienced it firsthand, one-to-one, firsthand in the network, firsthand, and even going to a different group, totally different group. Nobody knew me from Adam. Everybody welcomed me in, and it was, like I said, it was instant. So like I said, I certainly appreciate what you've done. With me. I appreciate you definitely coming on to the show as well. So we're just gonna wrap it up, and just want to say thank you so much. I'll see you next Friday, the next meeting, and then yeah, let's get your wife on too, man, because that would be awesome to get her network up and running too. Be fantastic, man.
I'll be happy to make that introduction.
All right, brother. You have a
All
good
right.
weekend, man. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna wrap it up.
Thanks.
All right, man.
All right, bye-bye.
And in closing, like I always like to say, first of all, I want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first and foremost, because without him, I wouldn't even be here. Okay, wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Again, I always like to thank my family, my wife and kids, for supporting me and everything that I do. Like I said, they're behind this thing 100%. And then the sponsors, can't do it without the sponsors, and we always got room for more. So get on board. And of course, the fans, the subscribers. Again, without you, there's no listeners, there's no show. So definitely appreciate y'all. Love y'all to the moon. All right. And I want everybody to have a good weekend. Bye.